Our story today begins with this exciting email I received from an Agent James Williams, simply saying, "Hello, dear winner." Enticing, but a bit vague, don't you think? Now, what I found most curious about this email was the footer, a link to Agent Williams' profile on a messaging app called Spike. But that's not how I took it. No, what I wanted to know is, what is a spike? I have lots of spikes down my back. Is this like one of those? Well, that's a bit of an odd response. What's going on here? Well, I imagine you read the title. I've been scam baiting as a hobby for a few years now. Shocking, this is a scam. And a more recent interest, and definitely not obsession, I've developed is with the Wings of Fire series by 2E.T. Sutherland, telling the stories of young dragons fighting wars, fulfilling prophecies, and learning that maybe getting along isn't so bad after all. And I thought, well, why not combine the two by taking on the role of a slightly confused old person, the perfect victim for a scammer, who just so happens to also be a dragon from Pyrrhia. I find this to be a particularly amusing way to mess with the scammers because the Wings of Fire lore is an endless wellspring of internally consistent utter nonsense that I can only imagine is an absolute nightmare for the scammers to try to parse. So, what did Agent Williams think of my email? Well, he doesn't seem to have noticed anything out of the ordinary in my questions, because he came right back to tell me, "Morning, Mr. Grobe. This is from the headquarters. I saw your name on our list. Are you ready to claim your winner's money package?" Right. Claim my winner's money package? Sounds simple. I like the sound of that, and he also needs my full name and address. Bother. Despite my opening, I thought I'd better turn down the dragonness for a bit, so as to not scare him off too early. It'll come back later, don't worry. So I gave him my fake name and asked some more questions a normal person might ask when offered a grant money winner's package thing like this, out of the blue. Agent Williams told me he had to go off and check my name in the Grant Fund Offer Guarantee Corporation Qualifier database, and, lucky me, he came back 30 seconds later to wish me a single congratulation on my winnings because their verification team alerts that my data verification process was successful. Ooh. I thought that was excellent, so I told him as much and asked what happened next. It turns out what happened next is that I needed to fill out a long list of informational-ation for him to precede my winning. Home address, date of birth, marital status, private personal details that are really none of his business, and he wanted to know if I was ready to provide them. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, I had an issue, so I wrote back. "Yes, I am ready. One small problem, though. I don't have a phone, as it broke on account of the corners. Please confirm that this will not be an issue." Rather than respond to that, Agent Williams just came back demanding, "Date, birth. Just write her it one by one, and kindly fill out the details here now and send it to us here now so we can proceed your grant." Well, it's quite rude to ask someone's age. I'm old enough to know that, so make of that what you will. What other details do you need? I think this should be sufficient. Also, why do you keep sending your emails as a barrage? It makes it very hard to keep up with. Please stop doing it. Seemingly satisfied, despite only having received a name and an allusion to being elderly, the scammer came back with a note stating, 1. Price money must be claimed not less than 1 day after this date. 2. All funds will be returned to the Ministry of Economy Property as unclaimed fund. 3. Your ref number must be in all your mails. 4. Do inform the claims officer of any change of names or addresses. 5. Make sure you did not tell anybody about your winning money for security purpose so that the delivery team will not have problem on their way to coming to deliver your money to you. I wonder if posting it to YouTube counts as telling someone about it. Surely not. Anyway, I pretended not to have understood that, and then told them I couldn't wait to have the money in my talons, at which the scammer ignored, following up with, "We have verified your information, and it shows that you are qualified to receive the money." And he included a long list of official-looking nonsense numbers, including that reference number he wanted in all my emails. Exciting. Then, apparently, I was to copy that down and get back to me when you are done, okay. Bit strange, don't you think? You want me to write it down, like in a scroll, by claw? I'm not sure I have any ink at the moment, but I can go find some if you want. I also didn't include that reference number in my email, but apparently that wasn't a problem, because the scammer wrote back to say, "We ask that you keep this notification strictly from public notice until your claim has been processed and your money remitted, because some people will be trying to claim what is not their own, and to avoid double claiming. We care about you a lot. God bless you. God bless America." People claiming money that doesn't belong to them? That sounds familiar. Anyway, no comment on the missing reference number, nor on the scrolls or claws. Then, the scammer apparently managed to figure out that I didn't actually send any usable personal information earlier, because he followed that up with, "Send me your home address." It's to the point, I guess. I wrote back to complain that I'd already sent the address, which I had not, and that he'd said he'd already verified my information, which I didn't send, so I didn't see why he was asking for it again, and I had to include a dig at his choice of profession given he'd set me up for it and all. I hate the types that try to claim money that doesn't belong to them. Horrible, despicable characters. By the way, you may have noticed I've been including these increasingly elaborate dragon-themed benedictions in each email for the past while. The scammer never seems to pick up on these, unfortunately. Anyway, I then realized I'd never heard back about the scroll and the ink for writing down all those nonsense numbers. Also, do you still need the scroll and the ink? I borrowed some from one of my clawmates, but I think he's going to want it back soon. What did I need to write down again? This is all a bit confusing. The scammer didn't seem so pleased with that question. You are the one that's delaying our delivery team to be on way to your doorstep because you are the one that we are waiting for to complete the appointment fee, then after that and get your winning delivered to your doorstep with new truck that we are bringing for you. Don't need to worry yourself much. Your winning package is with me here. A new truck once you are ready to complete the appointment fee balance. Let me know so that we can get ready to be on way to your doorstep. I thought that was a bit rude, really. Excuse you. You are the one delaying by bringing up all this business with scrolls and ink and asking confusing questions about information I've already sent. You're reminding me of my nephew when he was a 3-year-old dragonette. I should hope you've been out of the egg for longer than that. Now, what's this about a fee? How do I pay the fee? What do I need to do now? Please be clearer in future. Ignoring everything in that email, except my questions about the fee, the scammer wrote back to tell me, you were required to make single payment of $500 for the activation and the shipment of your winning money with your new truck we are bringing for you, and I 100% assure you that your winnings money will be delivered to your doorstep without any delay, okay? Right, sure, that's believable. Nice of them to throw in an entire truck to sweeten the deal out of nowhere. However, I was not so happy about the fee. Oh, $500 is quite a lot. Are you sure it's that much? Could it be any lower, please? I think I'd struggle to pay $500. Let me know what can be done. Apparently, without having processed that, the scammer blindly continued, are you ready to make the payment now? Well, no, I don't think I can afford $500. I'm ready to make a smaller payment, though, yes. Please confirm that a smaller amount will be acceptable. Maybe you could set half the price. Confused, the scammer asked, so we could do how you are going to make it and get ready for you to be on way to your doorstep once you have about to go and make the payment? Immediately followed up by, to be honest with me here, how much can you try to afford right now to start your winning processing to be on way to your doorstep on time? I'm here with you, just let me know on time. Nice of him to offer to only scam me for everything I can afford instead of the full $500. How generous. But I was more interested in that divisibility argument. How about $250 for half the price? Is it divisible like that? Please let me know that this works. Probably without even having read my email, the scammer wanted to know which store is nearest to you so we can told about to make payment right now, and how long it's going to take to there because we want to know to get your package delivered today. I didn't think that was really good enough. You didn't answer my question about divisibility. Is $250 for half the fund acceptable? Yes or no? This is not difficult. Clearly desperate for any amount of money, the scammer agreed. Yes, we are going to accept the $250 from you. And then again, which store is nearest to you so we can told you about to make the payment of the $250 right now and get your package delivered to your doorstep in the next 2 hours you make the payment done. 2 hours, wow. Anyway, now that we've managed to halve the fee, let's see if we can go any lower. Actually, I've just had a look over my coins. $125 for a quarter of the price would be a lot easier for me, I think. Is the price further divisible like this? Please confirm that the price can be divided further. Disappointed, the scammer wrote back, to be honest with me here, it's only $125 you have with you right now. I confirmed, yes, $125. I am quite confident in this. Can you divide the price again? Please confirm. And apparently more desperate than disappointed, the scammer accepted this too. Yes, we are going to deliver it to your doorstep. Are you ready to make the payment of $125 so we can told you how you are going to make the payment right now? And right back to the stores. Which store is nearest to you? How long it going to take you to there? I thought this was all good news, so I told him as much. But then I realized something. Actually, I've just had a thought. Seeing as the price is divisible, why don't you divide off $500 from the price and use this to pay the shipping cost for the rest of it? That way I don't have to pay anything. Isn't that a clever idea? Let me know once you've implemented this. Without any good counter-argument to that, the scammer just ignored it. We need to get your package activated before we will be on way to your doorstep. Now just go down to the store and around and get Razor Gold $100 with the activation receipt. Once you have get it, just let me know, okay? Are you now going to be on way to get it right now so we can start your winning processing? Ugh, I thought we'd already solved the problem of the fee. What? Since you can divide it to send me a quarter for $125, just divide the price into such a fraction that you can pay for the shipment of the rest of the price with the divided portion. Understand simple, okay? That way I don't need to pay anything. Let me know once it's shipped. I'm so excited to have this money in my clothes. I think I might buy an expensive pearl necklace, or perhaps a traditional rainforest flower crown. What would you buy with this sort of money? Desperation increasing, the scammer ignored all of that and wrote back, I hope you are now on your way to get the $125 with Razor Gold gift card, right? But I wasn't satisfied. No, I just explained how we're going to deal with this. Divide off $500 from the prize in the same manner as you're dividing the prize to send me a quarter for $125, and use that $500 to pay for the shipment of the rest of the prize. I've explained this to you several times now. Stop being a sleepy tail and get on with it. You're acting like a confused hatchling. I had a feeling I'd pushed the divisibility gambit about as far as it'd go, so I now pretended to be confused about the razor card he wanted. Also, I don't know what you're talking about with razors. One of my clawmates is a pet scavenger, and I think he has a razor that he uses to trim its fur. Why would you need one, though? Do you have a pet scavenger? Now, of course, what the scammer actually wanted was a Razor Gold gift card, but seeing as he has been writing Razor every time, I thought that was the perfect opportunity to be confused and think he wanted a literal golden razor. Then I had to go for the night, which often winds scammers up, but not this time. Single-mindedly focused on the fee, he wrote back, just go down to the store and around you there and ask for Razor Gold gift card of the $100 with full of receipt it for the activation of the card. Only $100 now. I didn't even have to ask him to reduce it that time. How generous. Anyway, I was still confused, and I had rather a lot to say about it. That doesn't address any of the points in my previous message. 1. I want you to divide off $500 from the prize and use this to pay for the shipment of the rest of it. Please implement this at your earliest convenience and stop delaying this whole process. Why can't you do this one simple thing? 2. Why do you need a razor? Do you want me to borrow the one my clawmate has for his pet scavenger? His name's Saguaro, by the way, the clawmate, not the scavenger. The scavenger is called Fuzzy, I think. I'm not so sure about them myself, but Saguaro seems to think it's very cute. Do you have a pet scavenger? What's its name? Also, I don't imagine the razor is made out of gold. It's probably bronze or iron or something. Will this be an issue? 3. How could the way the yes is tomorrow be the where when there is the today? Please explain. This should make things very clear. Any remotely competent individual should be able to proceed from here, except perhaps a very young dragonette. Now apparently trying to address the divisibility argument, the scammer informed me that we can't run anything from your winner's package units till we get to your doorstep. But this raised a new problem. Okay, ignoring the fact that this still doesn't address any of the points made previously, this raises a new, more important issue. I don't have a doorstep. I don't really have much of a door either, but certainly no doorstep. How are you going to deliver anything to my doorstep if I don't have one? Where's it going to go? That brings the list of things you need to address to 4. Please answer all 5 of them in your next email as soon as possible, preferably yesterday. Trying to make the whole thing seem a bit more real to get me back on the hook, the scammer sent a picture of a package in a truck, then, you don't have to pay much, it's just for the person that going to drive your truck to your doorstep and truck driver required to pay for $500, okay? That still didn't answer my questions, and wait, now the fee is $500 again? What? We already agreed to $125 for a quarter of the price, didn't we? Or was it $63 for an eighth? These details escape my old mind. Anyway, you still haven't addressed the matters of division, scavengers and razors, doorsteps, or the other thing. You need to resolve these before we can proceed any further. You're being exceedingly unhelpful. Is there someone else I can speak with? Perhaps someone a bit older? Clearly getting frustrated, the scammer came back shouting, which store is nearest to you? Walmart, Walgreens, McDonald's, Subway, Starbucks, CVS, Taco Bell, Target, General Store. I don't know about you, but I've never seen Razor gift cards for sale at any Subway I've ever been to, but maybe it's just not a thing in New Zealand. Anyway, I put my foot down. No, I'm not discussing this any further until you have resolved the previously discussed issues. This is extremely unprofessional and disappointing behavior. A bit of a one-trick pony, the scammer wrote back, just go to the store around you and get the Razor Gold gift card, okay, so that we can process your package today. But this was all getting a bit repetitive, so I complained. I think you must have already sent exactly that before. I don't know what you could possibly want with Saguaro's scavenger razor. You're going to divide off the fee from the divisible price to pay for the shipment, and I don't know how you're going to ship it anyway, as you seem intent on doorsteps which I do not have. Look, can I speak with someone else, please? You're not even like talking to a hatchling, you're more like talking to the egg itself before it hatches. Please provide an alternate contact. Apparently unbothered by the fact that I just likened him to an unhatched egg, the scammer tried to be helpful and sent a picture of a gift rack in some store, followed by, just go to the store around you and ask for a gift card, Razor Gold, or Apple gift card, okay? The card code is for the activation so that we can process your package. Nice for him to offer Apple gift cards as well. Now, convenient, right? Well, I didn't think so. You still haven't answered any of my questions. I don't know why you want apples now. Are you one of those vegetarian types from the rainforest? I can get you an apple if you want. Where should I send it? Once again, the scammer ignored all of that. Just get the gift card and take a picture of it front and back, okay? But I wasn't satisfied. I can get you an apple. Do you want an apple? Yes or no? Stop being confusing. Desperate for money, the scammer just agreed, clearly confused, but hoping that this would somehow lead to a payout. Nice to know he can apparently also accept payment in physical apples. He should have just led with that, really. If all you need was an apple, why didn't you just say that earlier? 3 moods. Alright, I'll go ask my clawmates and see if they have one. The other one is called Typhon, you know, Saguaro, of course. Perhaps he keeps apples for Fuzzy to eat. I'm not quite sure what it eats, actually. If they haven't got any apples, I'll go find some at a market tomorrow. It's too late to go flying now. I left that a few hours to see if the scammer would say anything, but he didn't, so I sent him a very helpful and relevant update, slightly about the apples, but mostly about Grobe's discussion with Saguaro. Alright, neither of them had apples, so we'll have to fly to a market tomorrow and get you one. Do you have a preference on type, or do you need more than just one, or anything like that? Let me know. Besides that, I had a fascinating conversation with Saguaro about scavenger feeding habits. Did you know that they refuse to eat prey unless you cook it for them first? Apparently, in the wild, sometimes they even use their paws to build their own little fires to cook on. I think that's so interesting. Other than that, they only eat fruits and vegetables, but apparently they prefer these to be cooked too. What curious little creatures. Do you have a pet scavenger yourself? You still haven't explained what you needed a razor for. I'll get back to you tomorrow once I've been to the market. Having finally figured out I was talking about fruit, the scammer wrote desperately back to try to correct me. The Apple card is not Eat Apple gift card. You can always find that at a store. Followed by a picture of an Apple gift card, and this is how the Apple gift card looks like, okay? But unfortunately for poor Grobe, he'd already been out to buy apples, and he had rather a lot to say about it. Oh, that's not what the apple I got looks like. It's more sort of red and three-dimensional. In fact, that looks to be more like a drawing of an apple on a scrap of scroll or something. Do you still want the one I got for you? Where should I send it? If you don't want it, Saguaro said he'd help me feed it to Fuzzy. Apparently they trust you a lot more once you've given them food. Maybe I'm starting to see the appeal a bit. Anyway, if you want something more like the picture you sent, I can talk to Typha. He's got quite the creative streak, always doing little sketches and doodles on any bits of scroll he gets his claws on. I don't think he's ever had any actual art schooling, given the war and all. I guess it's something he started doing recently, now that we have time to do things besides worrying about dying in combat tomorrow. I think I'm going to get him a proper canvas instead of paints for his next hatch day. At any rate, I think I'll be able to make something like the picture you sent. Let me know if this suits. A few hours later, I sent an update. Okay, Typha's here now. Do you want something like that picture or not? I don't know where you've been all day, please confirm. The scammer apparently had not realized Grobe was offering to have Typha draw him a picture of a gift card, and he said he wanted to see it, so I dutifully responded. Okay, I'll ask him. It'll take a bit, so you'll have to be patient. I'll send it to you as soon as I've got it. Do you have any clawmates, by the way? What are they like? I've only known these two for a few years, but I don't think I could bear to live without them now. The scammer ignored my questions, focusing solely on the prospect of getting his gift card. When you get card, let me know. So after stalling for a bit to plausibly give time for Typha to do it, I went off and I drew him the promised picture of an apple card. Quite a lovely apple card, isn't it? I certainly thought so I wrote to the scammer. Okay, here you go. I think he did a pretty good job. You should be pleased I got it to you this quickly, by the way. He wanted to do a more detailed self-portrait, but I got it out of his claws before he could get too far along with that. He seems pretty excited with this whole deal too. I think I'll split the money with him and Saguaro once I have it. Right, now that I've got you that, what happens next? Whatever could he possibly need that sketch for anyways? I feel I must be missing something. The scammer wrote back, perhaps in denial, or perhaps without even having looked at the attachment, let me know when you got the card. And so I reminded him I'd already sent the card, and I guess he finally figured it out, or perhaps just went back and looked at the attachment, because he wrote back with a final, furious, Ogun go kill you. Well, that's a bit rude, isn't it? But I thought so anyway, and so I thought I'd best wrap things up. Well, that's rather rude. Why do you say that? Actually, you know what, I think I've had about enough of you. You keep sending confusing nonsense about razors and apples, giving misleading directions about what you want, and refusing to answer very basic questions. In fact, if you just listened to my suggestion about dividing the prize, we could have been done with this days ago. You are a deeply unhelpful and rude character. Rather than try to engage with me, you continually devolve into muttering about razors and apples. You are a stone that's been enchanted to repeat 3 meaningless lines until the end of time. You are truly a waste in all interpretations of the word. You will not be missed. He never responded to that, for some reason, so the conversation ended there. So in conclusion, no, despite constantly referring to my claws and talons, talk of flying to places as a standard mode of transport, lengthy discussion of my clawmates, and a drawing of an apple card with a rushed draconic self-portrait, the scammer apparently did not ever manage to piece together the fact that he was talking to a dragon. To nobody's surprise, really. I hope that's been a bit of fun. I've got enough scam email threads to do quite a few more of these, so let me know if you'd like to see that, and if you enjoyed this, make sure to do the YouTube things and like the video and subscribe or something like that. Until next time.